Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Howdy all, we have a very interesting question here at Asshole Consulting. If you have interesting or boring questions, as long as you have money and pay me, go to assholeconsulting.com, shoot me your questions, give me your money, and then I'll answer your question. But this is an interesting one, and he'd like to remain anonymous. He says, I'm a 19-year-old from the United Kingdom who is considering his career options. I'm currently employed in the private sector, you'd be happy to know, but not a fan of the corporate world. Nobody is, kid. I have a number of ideas for YouTube channels and know of a number of YouTubers who are making a living out of their videos. I think I might remember one of your videos that you said you make some of your money from YouTube ad revenue alongside Asshole Consulting. Could you possibly advise me on how to make a living out of YouTube? Just name the price and I'll pay and afford it. And where the hell did my... Oh, it's hidden behind the camera. Where'd my notes go? There's my notes. Come on. There we go. So this is a really interesting question, and to be in all full honest disclaimer and disclosure, I don't live off of my YouTube revenues. I do make some, but it is the Asshole Consulting the fees that I charge that I kind of live off of. The YouTube advertising revenue is just gravy on the top. But you are correct. There are many people that do make a living off of YouTube. I obviously would love to have the following of a Jenna Marbles, as we all would, or Pew Pew Die, where they're making millions of dollars doing their videos. So I had to sit down and think, okay, where have I seen success? What are things that I'm kind of doing? Let me just take a note here. There. What are the qualities, characteristics, and traits of YouTubers who make, and not just make a living, I mean, if that's not spectacular enough, but enrich themselves, become very wealthy, becoming YouTube personalities. And so I've kind of found them into like these 5 or 6 categories, so just go through, and then I have some general advice that will help you going down the road. But again, no guarantees, because what you're trying to do is find out what society is going to respond to, what society is going to find popular. Like, look at Lacey Green. I mean, she's way more successful than the average person on YouTube, but she's a fucking idiot. And hey, there you go, telling people lies. So, and that's just another one I forgot. There we go, lies. Okay, there. Make that 7. All right. So the first way to make money off of the internet, be a hot chick. That is the #1 variable that helps, and you either go into porn or you espouse non-leftist beliefs. That's basically it. I even wrote a post where I did research. I found if you're a cute girl and you simply regurgitate, you don't come up with the original ideas, you don't come up with the heavy lifting and the brains and the thoughts about, and you simply regurgitate conservative or libertarian or free market beliefs, as long as it's not leftist, you will have a 500% advantage over the man who is pounding away doing all the research. So if you just come on, I like Ronald Reagan, or in your case, I like Margaret Thatcher, she was smart, I have titties, yay, that will make you a ton of money. You, unfortunately, are not a female, well, you're just not a pretty female, period, because you're not female. So that leaves other realms that us men have to go and do. So the first one came to mind is cute, stupid shit. This is the wild bunch. There's a YouTube channel of a woman that, I think it's a woman or a guy, where millions of hits. She is paid to, or she puts videos of her eating. Millions of people go and watch this shit. The Amazing Atheist. Dumber than shit, but people watch it. Cats, dogs doing cute crap. I have a friend who has a little niece, and she's going to take her little niece, or nephew rather, and go film him doing cute shit. But there's something, she's got a spin or an angle on that. But that is what the vast majority of people, the cute little kitty hanging on the clothesline, hang in there. That dumb shit that, it's dumb, it's stupid. You and I know that. Us people on this side of the IQ bell distribution curve know that. But that's not the vast majority of people. And since you're going for volume, it's just a numbers game, it's just traffic. Just playing to the lowest common denominator of stupid, cutesy, artsy, fartsy, dumb shit is the way to. So we know, like, cats, dogs, children, But then there's just this off-the-wall shit, people bouncing on trampolines. There's just the weirdest stuff hits, man, and there's no way you can predict it. So what I would do, if you want to go that route, obviously keep your name out of it. You work in the private sector. You don't want to be known. Just try that dumbest fucking shit. As an experimental stage, film ants. What a fuck that. Hey, look, here's the ants. Oh my god. And then also you got 10 million hits. And idiots like me who, slave and toil over putting together great presentations on economics, we get our whopping 10,000 views. We're excited. Hey, but you got 10 million views filming ants. All right, so I don't know what that is. I bet you half these people don't know themselves. But that cute and stupid shit is one category. Another one, humor. I think humor always sells, like college humor, comedians, doing funny skits. I have a ton of ideas, like, for example, look up Government Check Dad. That's funny, it's clever. I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but there's drawbacks to doing humor because you usually need a cast. You need a group of people to pull off the punchline, to do something funny. Otherwise, it's just a monologue. Or you have to, you gotta be really clever. But if you look at the website College Humor on YouTube, they do some funny ass shit. It's very funny. So the humor is a good way to go too. But again, you need a camera crew. You need a bunch of actors and actresses to pull it on. A bunch, but at least another one. So humor is another way to go. But again, your overhead goes up a little bit. Then there's niche YouTube things. This is what I do. I guess it's kind of economics, which morphed into asshole consulting, which things got really weird afterwards. But there's a niche. You're good at politics. You're good at instructional things, like instructional videos like how to fix motorcycles, mechanics, carpentry, any kind of craft or skill or trade, an instructional tutorial, how-to, paleontology, magic, history, but you specialize in Greek warfare history or something like that. So there's a very specific niche. A perfect example, well, they do a podcast, but kind of the same thing is Stuff You Missed in History class. These two gals, they got a great niche, and it's wonderful. Stefan Molyneux, philosophy. So whatever, and then here's the good thing about this is your passion, you can do it, and you're not working a day in your fucking life. You really are having fun, and hopefully you're really good at your niche, and you film it well, and the quality is good, and then you get a following. Don't expect there to be as much as like little cute kittens hanging on clotheslines, or little kids doing cute shit, or a conservative girl who's a redhead with big fucking titties and nice cleavage. You're not going to beat them when you're talking about, naval battle tactics of the Civil War, which you'll get. You'll get it really good, and you'll have a great intellectual conversation. But it's not going to bring in that much money. Then this would probably be more my world, is mining truth. I like to call it mining truth, because truth and being politically incorrect and telling people the truth and reality of the world gets you in trouble. And again, you would not want to have your name associated with this, especially if you're working in the private sector. But no one likes to talk about truth, because if you tell the truth, you're ostracized. The left will come down on you, man. The left will come down. The social justice warriors will try and dox you, get you fired, and all this other crap. So if you go down that route, you have to either remain anonymous or be fully willing that you never care if you're going to go back again. And that's the point that me and a lot of guys are. It's like, no, I'm never going to go work a real job ever again. Never. And you know what? Here's a benefit, though, of this. If you ever are publicly known and you're going down this YouTube of truth and political incorrectness and reality and bringing it to the people, you can always collect a government check even if you lose your YouTube or whatever else, because no company will hire you. You're on the internet, people hate your guts, no one will hire you. So when they say, well, have you been applying for jobs, you will honestly be able to say, yes, I've been applying for jobs, and no one's hired me. So that's kind of a consolation prize if for whatever reason your YouTube career doesn't take off. But obviously try to remain anonymous there while you're working in the real world. But that's one a lot of people don't want to get into. There's a demand for truth. There's a demand for reality. You could say, pretty much all my books are like that. But very few people are willing to go and take the risks to go and mine and present and sell the truth to people. So that's another one. Then there's an easier one. Much more profitable. Lies. Once again, Lacey Green. Who else? Oprah, before, predating YouTube, it was Oprah, the daytime talk shows, but it's their younger millennial Gen Xer equivalents who are now online telling women lies. And it doesn't have to be to women, although women, I would say, are the largest consumer of lies. But everybody loves lies. Bernie Sanders, the entire leftist Democrat socialist parties in all the world, your Labor Party, is based on lies, saying, oh yeah, we can have all the free shit in the world you want, and it's evil people and big corporations and rich fat cats that keep it away. So lie. And this is again where it helps you not to be known who you are, because let's say you try going down the lie route and you find out you're just not good at it. You can't do YouTube videos well on lies. You can't gut it. Well, if that kind of associates you with that political, or at least philosophical approach. And then also you try and switch to truth or humor or something like that. People say, well, aren't you the guy that tried to tell us that free everything should be free everything, and Bernie Sanders, or in your case, who's the guy? Jeremy Corbyn? That fucktard? I mean, weren't you like a big socialist and now you're telling us it's all wrong? So the lies is that's a hard one to do. That's going to be down the road for me, not in a YouTube channel sort of way, but I will be aggressively pursuing I'm diversifying. I'm diversifying out of truth, and I'm going to get a little bit of investment in lies, but I'm not going to use my own name. I'm going to lie the fuck to people's faces and have them give me tons of fucking money. And it's not fraud. It's touchy-feely. You can go, girl. You do anything you want. You can follow your heart and the money will follow. Be a politician. But, lies is another YouTube way. It's not going to be terribly intellectually rewarding. It'll be intellectually challenging because you're going to have to swallow it and lie to people. But there's a much larger market out there for people who want to consume lies. So, and that plays well with YouTube because, once again, it's volume, right? Lacey Green and what's her name, Anita Sarkeesian, do not have that many or that much more, such a large audience. They don't have such large audiences because their product is great. Their product is bullshit. It's people desperately want to believe their religion. So religion would fall into that, I've always thought about podcast pastor, yeah, you're all fucking forget. Oh, yeah, you're all going to heaven. Yep, so you go ahead and do that. Oh, why does it do this to me? Oh, okay, there we go. So those are the general groups of categories of how to make money on YouTube, at least as far as my logic and observation can tell me. Now, a couple things, regardless of how you do this or which area or venue or market sub-segment you want to go into. One, remain anonymous because you have to have your daytime job before you go public. You got to put food on the table, so there's that. Two, you have to be consistent and you have to produce stuff regularly. You have to do it over a long period of time. People ask, how do you do it in blogging? How do I do it? You got to write every fucking day. You have to produce something every fucking day, or nearly every day. And it has to be good quality stuff. And even I fail in that regard sometimes. But the vast majority of your work has to be quality, and you have to be doing it consistently, at least 2 or 3 times a week. Now, videos, depending on their quality and complexity, could probably last a little longer. But you have to do it a long period of time. I didn't start making progress until I was blogging for about 5 or 6 years. And finally, you build up a following. So it's that consistency and almost daily, certainly weekly, quality production that gets you an increased audience. Now, a trend, though, also in YouTube is there's an increasing, and I think this is where I got to go down, and it never ends. It's always evolving, and you have to do increasingly good, increased quality in terms of video editing and audio editing. Right now, obviously, this is my blue backdrop. I got it at Joann Fabrics, Michael Fabrics, and it's dragged over a wire. Obviously, not very high technical production. Most of my videos are just consulting right now, but I would really would love to put together, get a filming crew together and put together more complicated, better edited, better audio and video quality videos. Now, again, that takes more time. So, and I'm weird, I'm unique because it's a consulting. This is really more of a consultancy. It's not a YouTube channel, it really is a consultancy. But for my own personal YouTube creations, Clary Originals, I usually like to delve a little bit more deeply. I like to do more quality work, and a lot of it, even if, the message doesn't change, and it's a very important message, people like good audio and video because they like the aesthetics. So if you know a buddy who's really good with filmography and video editing, I would do that. Along the same lines, and this would be if you're going into a niche or something a little bit more cerebral, or the lies or the truth of the politic, or politically incorrect / truth, is you would want to do scripted readings or scripted, basically you're giving a speech is what you're doing. Again, I'm pursuing this route. I got a new guy who's got a way better voice than me, and I have him read my blog posts because they're scripted, but I don't have time to read them. My voice isn't that great. But he's got a great voice. And some people want a very polished, scripted, philosophical, political, economic piece that they can download, listen to, or whatever else. They don't want to read your blog. They want to listen to it in the car. And this, again, along the lines of increased video editing quality, look at Sargon of Akkad, Thunderfoot, and Sandman. These guys read their stuff, which is fine. And they got way more followers than I or anybody else does. Well, most people anyway. And it's in part because they put together very good, quality, polished, well thought out pieces that are just better than a ranting or a riffing or a tiffing or me just rambling in front of the YouTube camera. So those are just things that you want to do in general. But yeah, those are the lies, the truth, a niche or instructional, humor, cute or understandably, incomprehensibly stupid shit, and then be a hot chick with big tits and either do porn or espouse conservative, libertarian, or non-leftist values. And that as far as I can tell on the YouTubes, who's making money and how you can make money. So, this is not the end-all be-all. I mean, if you find something like, yeah, I'm filming sticks. Oh, look, 14 billion views. I'm a gazillionaire. Yeah, I just bought out Ireland. Go ahead, dude. The YouTube stick channel, absolutely. So don't experiment as much as you possibly can. Find it, make it, whatever it is that you want to do. These are just the spheres of the YouTube that have kind of coalesced, or the products of YouTube that have kind of naturally evolved and formed in the world of YouTube that has provided a living and sometimes riches and fame to these professional YouTubers. So anyway, best of luck. Hope that helped. Toodles.